Hi there, good evening. Welcome once again to our Business and Leadership Forum. This June, it's an awesome time. We're going to have an awesome time together. This June, we're dealing with life lessons. We're dealing with life lessons this June, and for the next 4 weeks, we are going to be dealing with important life lessons that you wish you knew before you passed a certain age. You know that for most of us, we always tell people younger than us, don't do this because this is going to happen. Don't do that. But how I wish I had some information. How I wish I had I was privy to some information of what people have gone through. I'm sure I wouldn't have struggled much in some certain areas. So that's why it's been on my mind and say, look, this is for everybody. It's for entrepreneurs, for business people, for parents, for young people, for old, and it's just and I'm sure some older people listening to me today will just be shaking their head and just smiling. How I wish I knew. But the younger ones need to realize that, look, there are some life lessons that we just have to go through, and some of the things that you're going through is not the end of the world. It is just life that is happening to you. Okay, so basically, just like I was saying, it's not enough. The thing with wisdom and often the life lessons in general is that they are learned in retrospect, long after they are needed. That is usually the case. But so someone under the sound of my voice this evening definitely will learn something, and you don't have to fall into that trap. Before I continue, I always want to thank my followers, those that come live with me, that listen into what I'm saying. Every week you guys come. I'm glad, I'm happy, because I do this because you come live with me every week. So those of you on Instagram, those of you on Facebook, those of you on YouTube, my YouTube channel, which one on Chill channel, and also on Zoom, for those of you that want to come in on Zoom when I'm teaching with slides. Most of the time I have slides for all that I teach. So I welcome you guys. I think this is the second Monday in June. I just want to thank you guys. We've come to half year. So now we need some lessons to go through. So for the next 4 weeks, just brace yourself, and we will definitely, I'm going to take you through an interesting journey this June, and I know it will be profitable. Okay, let me continue where I stopped. The good news is that other people can benefit from our experiences, and that's why I'm bringing it down. Life is a learning process. It never ends, it never stops, it continues, it goes on and on. So you can learn important lessons from reading. That's why I would say learn something new every day. I try to learn something new, if it's grammar, it is language, something. Just know something. That thing that you know today might just help you. A guy, I think, I have a friend. He comes around and tells me, why am I always watching Nat Geo Wild? Nat Geo Wild is a station on DSTV. To those of us that are in Africa and in Nigeria, DSTV, they have this Nat Geo Wild, and they also have National Geographic, and there they show a lot of survivors in the wild, how to cope with certain things. So when the guy comes to my house, he just sees me watching those things, and he said, why do I watch it? I said, look, just watch it. No knowledge is lost. Only for him to travel for a safari. I think, I can't remember where, Tanzania. He went to 3 countries: Tanzania, South Africa, somewhere in that southern African country. Their vehicle broke down, and it took like 2 days before they could get the part. They could get parts for the vehicle. So they had to camp out for two nights, and in the midst of wild animals. And he said a lot of people were afraid, a lot of people were the guards, and try as much as possible to keep them calm, but a lot of people were not comfortable at all. And he said one of the things that made him go through, one of the things that made it easy for him to go through that experience was that he used to watch Nat Geo, which I introduced him to. So he remembered some survival techniques, and that helped him a lot. So he came back and thanked me and told me about the things that he went through. Okay, so it's no knowledge is lost. Try and learn something every day. It can save you a lot of time and energy by learning from other people's experiences, even from other people's mistakes. In this series, I'm going to bring about 9-10 points every day that we're going to look at, and we're going to talk about it. Today, I'm going to bring you some points that I think is very important that we need to know. The first one, I want to start with the issue of money. Listen, guys, money will never solve your real problem. Money answereth all things, but it doesn't solve some certain issues. There are some things that money cannot solve. Health, for instance. But before I get there, let me just say, money is a tool. It answers. It's a commodity that buys for you the things that you want, the necessities of life. But it's not a panacea for all your troubles. It's really not a panacea for all your troubles. There are great people. There are great people that are living very little. Because if money could solve all things, it means that the people that don't have money will be very highly, sad. But we have people that don't have much, but they are living wonderful lives, full lives and happy lives. All of us, nowadays, I don't know where we got this notion that all of us must be billionaires and millionaires before our life, before things are good. Where did we get that from? How did we come to that knowledge that, we just need to have so much money to make us happy? It doesn't make you happy. It solves things. It solves things. It can give you happiness, but it can't even give you joy. Joy is that thing that is internal. Joy is that thing that makes you smile when nobody knows what is happening, make you laugh when you are alone. You have that joy. But happiness, most times, is just short-lived. There are great many people who have quite a lot, billionaires, but they are living terrible lives. Have you ever wondered why is it that people that have everything in life commit suicide? How can a billionaire jump off a 50-story building? What can that be? Is it money? It's not money. Is it that he can't travel and have vacation all over the world? Those things are not. They are not. They at some point. I was listening to someone on social media. He said, part of the problems we have is that we have many desires, many wants. I say somebody that is healthy desires many things, but somebody that is sick, terminally sick, only has one problem: they want to recover. Someone in the hospital that can't walk, he's not bothered about the clothes he wears, the clothes and the cars he has. He's just bothered about one thing: I want to walk again. So we need to reconsider. Money can do some certain things. Money can buy you a house, but it can't buy you. Money can buy you a house, but it can't buy you a home. You see, I watch a lot of this medieval times, Europe and the kings come and go is one of my favorite pastimes to watch, about the rise and fall of kings. And they married out their daughters, and they always tell them it's not about love, it's about country, it's about country. And they lived a lot of miserable lives. Just very few of them ended up loving their partners, and it's so you can look at royalty, and the royals are looking at you like you're in heaven. You can do whatever you want, but they can't do anything that you want. I remember when I was a child, we could go out, we had bikes, we had I had roller skates, we had skateboards and all that. We can go out on the streets. But now our kids can't do that because like now in the city where I live, our kids can't do that because the kidnapping issue, and it was bad. So everybody was just shielding their kids, So now you have the money, but you have a secluded life, and you're not able to enjoy. So there are many things that you cannot have. You can love can even buy you a relationship, but it can't buy you love. People marry because of money, but it doesn't produce love at the end of the day. You can have great, fabulous cars, shoes, and all those things. It can give you a bit of security, but I've seen presidents that have great motorcades, but they were still assassinated. But it can give you a bit of security. It always brings me back to Psalm 1, for those of us that are Christians, Psalm 127, verse 1. It says that except the Lord builds a house, they labor in vain that build it. And the part B says, except he watches over a city, the watchmen watch in vain. In terms of security, it's God that protects us, especially those of us in Africa. He protects us because we leave the home in the morning. We don't know if we're going to come back, because there's so many things that are happening. Even in my country, there's a lot of things that are happening in the country, and a lot of killings, and people are always alert. It's money can't buy you that peace of mind. It can buy you peace of mind. It cannot fix a broken relationship. It cannot cure loneliness. Do you know you can be married and be lonely? You can be midst of people and you're lonely. And the happiness it brings is only short-lived, and it doesn't really, the things that you really matter, it can't give it to you. Happiness or joy is not for sale. If you're expecting it, that you can buy it, I'm sorry, it can never make you happy. It can never really make you happy. It's just like saying money cannot buy you true friends. It's only a fool that makes friends when they have money. I always tell people, go back to your secondary school friends. Go back to the friends, the reasonable ones you had before you came into the limelight. Those are your friends, because they will look at you in the face. They don't know you now. When they look at you, they always look at you with how they've known you, and they will tell you the truth. It's just like you can never be that old in front of your parents. They will always tell you the truth. And so, because success has many fathers. And so when you are now basking in that euphoria, I'm successful, and begin to make friends with the high and the mighty, and that friendship is not solid. Because once you lose that estate, once you lose that high ground, that's it. They won't talk to you again. So money cannot really, it can solve a lot of problems, no doubt, but it can't give you true joy. After you've made that money, you come to a place where you begin to think, as in, you begin to think and like, what do I really want in life? At a point in time, I said, look, I wanted to have a group of company. My company is called Madison Energy, and I said, look, I needed to have a Madison group of companies, which I did. And I was like, look, I was going to do this. I was trained in the oil and gas. From there, I ventured into logistics and quite a lot of things, even travel and tours. And I was saying that, look, this is where I was going to, this is what, but at the end of the day, at some point, I came to realize, especially when I started meditating, when I learned the act of meditation, it's not complex. I'm not doing like yoga. I'm doing what works for me. And basically how it works is that I get up early in the morning, 3:30, 4, and I just sit for 30 minutes to 1 hour, and I'm just thinking. I'm just let my mind just float, and the negative things will flow away and the positive things will begin to flow in. At that point in time, I begin to realize the things that are really important to me. And the things I do today is the bulk of what I do now, not the bulk, but what I enjoy doing now is grooming. what I'm doing now. I can do it for free. I can do it being paid. I love to do it because I'm a teacher. I'm a groomer. I'm someone that empowers. I'm here to teach. My ministry or my gift is a gift of wisdom and knowledge. And so anytime I want to impact knowledge, wisdom, life nuggets, I am so excited about it. I found my true calling, and that's what I'm doing. Is it that I don't have other businesses? I do, but this is where I have passion. And money cannot buy, because it takes a while before people begin to listen to you. You can speak for 10, 15 years, doing programs, nobody comes. You can write books. Most of the authors now that you're buying their books, those books has been there on the shelf for years. But there comes a time and that the heaven smiles upon you and everybody is looking for your material and wanting to get your material, and you'll be wondering, I've written this in 20 years, nobody cared. But when your time comes and people will begin to look for you, and money can't buy those certain things. Money can buy the joy that I derive from doing what I love to do, and I found that no matter what, business is good, but the business of training people, grooming people is my business, and that's what gives me joy. Money can buy that. If it was about money, I would have dropped it a long time, because it does not pay like other businesses. That's why you need to understand passion and calling. This is my calling. This is what I have passion for. You can have passion for something, is not necessarily your calling. But for me, I have passion, and I have passion for this, and it's my calling. But it's not necessarily my work, because I have other businesses, things that I do. So they sponsor, they fund this until a time that this passion and calling begins to support itself, and usually takes a long time for it to support itself. So you realize that for me to keep doing this 20 years, then I must be crazy. But this is where I derive joy from. So money can buy you everything. Okay, another point I want to bring up is pace yourself. You have to pace yourself. Often when we're young, especially young people just beginning our adult life, we feel as though we can do everything all at once. We want to plan our life, we want to experience everything, we want to travel the world, we want to get to the top, we want to find true love, we want to do everything within 2-3 years, we want to find out about life's purpose, we want to do everything. People that are young want to do everything all at once. Slow down. Don't rush into things. Let it unfold. When I tell young people, look, you have time. There is time for you to learn about yourself. At 20, 25, most of the time, even up to 30, for men, they've not fully discovered who they are. You have a job, but you've not fully discovered your purpose in life. And most of them are just beating around the bush. They've not fully discovered their purpose in life. Slow down and let some things unravel. Slow down and take it. I'm not saying you don't have plans, do the things that you want, but take it easy. There is no race here. You're running your own race, you're on your own lane. Nobody can be in your lane. Take it easy. Wait a bit and see where life takes you, so that before you start making decisions. Don't get to your school and say, oh, I want to make friends. I want to be friends with this, My son one time was asking me, how do I make friends? I said, look, just take it easy. The ones that are your true friends, gradually, water always finds its level. Gradually, don't make friends because it's the first person that you met in school. Have friends and be friendly with people. Gradually, you will see the ones that suit your purpose, suit you as a person, that understand you. Because friendship is something that is very valuable. It's not something you should just get into. It's something that is I feel is one of the gifts of life, to have good friends. So you don't rush into it. Take your time. Wait a bit. See how things are. Weigh your options. Don't be in a hurry. Weigh your options. I don't know where a 20-year-old or 25-year-old is running to. He has the rest of his life ahead of him. Take time and see where life goes and ask questions. Always have mentors. Always have people you can ask questions. You know, every bit of food you take in, take time to enjoy the things around us, around you. Nigerians, or let me say Africans and black people, sometimes we don't take time and to enjoy the scenery, to enjoy some of the landmarks, and we just, it's later on in life we begin to enjoy those things because we are striving and running to get some things done. There's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes allow yourself time to think, to mull over things a bit before taking actions, because some of these actions can be critical in your life. So you need to take time and do it. Working towards your goals and making plans for the future is commendable. Nobody can stop that, and often is very useful. But rushing full speed ahead towards anything is one-way ticket to becoming to have burnout, to burn out, and a good way to miss your life as it passes you by. Remember, last week I was talking about living in the now. Try to live in the now. Enjoy yourself in the now. Do things you need to do in the now. The future brings anxiety. When you dwell much in the future, you become anxious. Anxiety enters into your being, and that's where you have midlife crisis, because you are thinking about the future and thinking about the future, and you're not measuring up. Before you know it, you become depressed. Take time, allow things to unfold. You see, if you are 20, at 25, some of your tastes will no longer be the same. What you're thinking at 25 to 35, believe me, is not what or what you take as important between 25 and 35 is not what you will take as important at 40 to 45. Different things, you begin to have different feelings. At 40, 45, you're talking about legacy that you want to leave for your kids. You are talking about long-term investments and things. But when you're 20, 25, you say, I still have time. Let me just enjoy a bit. So it's the different things we want different things at different ages. So take your time and pace your life, you know, and don't be too much in a hurry to acquire too much. There's no competition, let me tell you. There's no competition. Don't look at people and I want to be like them. I am striving to be like them. Yes, but run your own race, your own time. Understand, learn about yourself. The greatest gift and the greatest advice I can give to you, young people, is that discover yourself. What is important to you? What's your life's purpose? What are the things that are important to you? Hold on there. Let them be in the front burner when you make decisions. Don't make decisions because they appear to be good. People are doing it, it's working for other people. Make decisions that have to do with your person. You see, because your success, your advancement in life has to do with what? It has to do with, your advancement in life has to do with everything that has to do with you. Your skills, your talent, your all. These are the things that promote who you are. So you need to know who you are, because your strength, you need your strength to be able to work that thing out. So when your strength, when you're not working according to that your strength, when you don't know your strength, you will not be able to achieve what you want to achieve. Okay, so pace yourself, take time, and sometimes God doesn't tell you everything at once. He tells you things on a need-to-know basis. So you have to allow yourself to get to a certain point that God uses situations and things and circumstances to teach you and point you in the right direction. So when you're not taking that, when you're not mindful of that, you see that you might miss the direction God is pointing you to. Okay. Number 3 point I want to bring out is you can't please everyone. Believe me, you cannot please everyone, not even your parents, not your siblings, not your spouse, not your girlfriend, not your boyfriend, not your male or female friends. You can't please your boss. You can't please everybody all the time. You can please them sometime, but you can't please them all the time. And you cannot please some people at all. So just realize that there are some people that are just negative, some haters. Maybe that's a strong word, but there are some people that are not for you. They're not your fan at all. And you need to realize that it's not because they are bad people. They're just not your fans. They're just not on your side. So just make do with what you have, rather than bother yourself about what you don't have. I don't know, Bill Cosby said this. This is one of his quotes. He says, "I don't know the secret to success, but the secret to failure is trying to please everybody." And I agree totally with that quote. He doesn't know the secret to success, but he sure knows the secret to failure, and he's trying to please everybody. You don't need everyone to agree with you or even like you. You know, some people want validation from others, and you know, those people do you have friends or people around you, when they are talking, they are joining you, they want you to be looking at them, and they say, "You get me? You understand? You understand? Are you hearing me? Do you understand what I'm saying?" And they want you to answer them and say yes, you know, and they're pushing you. I have a friend that will push you, and he brings his face close to you, trying to get your affirmation by force, you know, and you don't need everybody to agree with you. I learned that. I learned that early. I just drop it as a seed. I just drop it and I leave it there. I just drop that thing I want to say. I just drop it. Because some people don't like you for you to tell them things twice. Just drop it and walk away. They will think about it. They are reasonable people, smart people. They will think about it. It's human nature to want to belong. It's human nature to want to belong, to want to be liked, respected, and valued. But it's not at the expense of your integrity and happiness. It's not at the expense of having you compromise. If you can't fit in, you can't fit in. If you cannot fit in, you cannot fit in. If you can't fit in, you just can't fit in. You don't have to force it. You don't have to force it. I know you want to belong, but if it's not a place for you, then move on. Find your own place. Because when you find your own place, you will blossom in that place. You will do very well in that place. One of the things I used to pray and always pray, I said, "God, take me to my prepared place where I will be like fish in water." You see a fish in water, take a fish out of the water, put it back into the water, you see how agile it becomes. And I said, "Lord, send me, direct me, nudge me, push me to my prepared place, because I know in my prepared place I'm excellent. When I speak and counsel people, I'm excellent at it, because that is my prepared place." But I know that not everybody might even want the counsel I give. Some people, the wisdom I give can be irritating to them, but does it mean that I don't have people that I'm called to and are called to me? Stay on your own lane. Other people cannot give you the validation you seek. It must come from the inside of you. That validation, they cannot give you the validation you seek. Okay? And one of the things that you need to know about not being a people pleaser is to speak up, stick to your guns, assert yourself when you have, when there is need, demand respect, and stay true to your core values. When people see that you're staying true to your core values, you don't compromise on the things that are important to you, they begin to respect you. They begin to respect you. You know, you have to be able to speak out and say, "No, this is what I want, this is who I am, this is," you need to be bold. I have a presentation, you can see it on utronocheers.com/online store. You can see a presentation I put out there, how to say no. How to say no will make you a better person. How to say no will remove you from time wasters. You know, people that are ready to drag you down, give you more time to become yourself. When you say no, it gives you confidence. You have that confidence to become more of who you are. That's why you need to do to stop being a people pleaser. You need to stop being people pleaser and begin to look inward, understand what you are, move based on your purpose, move based on your purpose, on your core values, the things you believe in. Let them drive you. Let them be the things. Where is this guy? Let it be in the forefront that the decisions you make are based on your core values, on your belief, on what you want to achieve. Okay. Another point, the fourth point I want to bring out here is your health is your most valuable asset. Believe me, your health is your most valuable asset. Sometimes if you go to the hospital and you see people lying there, a lot of them have regrets. If only I took care of my health earlier on in life, I wouldn't be this way. Health is invaluable treasure God has given to us. Always appreciate it, always nurture it, always protect it. My son asked me one day, what does it mean to be mature? And I told him maturity is the ability to delay gratification. And I gave him an example. Maturity is having a restaurant, but you eat like a child. Because he asked me, why do I eat once a day? Why do I eat once a day? Why am I starving myself? And I said, I eat once a day, but I can take fruits. I can take fruit during the day. I can take light things during the day, but I just have one meal a day. And I said, well, that's maturity, because I know that I cannot be stocking myself with junk and with food, and I want to be agile at 90. I want to still be speaking, preaching, talking at 90, 95. I want to be able to preach even if God keeps me to 100, to be able to be talking to people, because this is my true calling. And I would be a fool to say that, oh, God has blessed me, and so I don't need to watch what I eat. I don't need to exercise, and I'm going to get to that age. No, God expects you to be responsible for the gift of life and the body that He has given you. Good health is often wasted on the young, really, before they have the chance to appreciate what is what. Don't wait till when you're old for you to be able to appreciate, the good health. You know, the young people always take it for granted. They take it for granted because it's just there. I'm young, I'm strong. You know, they take it for granted that you will not always be strong, and that your body will give to you to the extent to which you nurture it, and to the extent to which you take care of your body, it will respond with you and stay with you for a very, very long time. We don't have to worry. The young will say we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to really pay attention to it until we now have to. You don't have to wait until when you're sick or you need, and the doctor tells you watch your weight. Doctor tells you do exercise for the sake of heart disease, to avoid stroke and all those things, and cancer. Eat right, make sure you eat vegetables and all. You don't have to wait until you have issues before you start doing that. Start doing that now. Exercise. And I'm not saying lift weights, do all those things. Some basic exercise. You can jog, you can walk. Make sure you do your 10,000 steps a day. Make sure you are active. Don't just sit in a couch and be like a couch potato and just be there. You know, you have to get up after 1 hour, do something. Make sure in the morning or in the evening you're going to walk. You know, I walked out in the morning. I didn't have much time. This evening, before I have dinner, I have to walk out. Or I have dinner, I walk out for another 30 minutes to 1 hour. Because I want to keep this body. I want to keep it walking right into my 90s. So I cannot just say, it's not a problem, this body, because I'm feeling okay now. It means that everything is going to always be okay. No, you need to watch what you do. You need to watch your health. Is a very valuable resource and treasure that God has given to us. Okay, the fifth point I want to bring out here is that you don't always get what you want in life. John Lennon, we all know the popular John Lennon, he says, life is what happens while you're busy making other plans. What have I been saying in the past 2 weeks? Life happens is what happens when you're making other plans. What I'm saying is that think of the now. You're thinking about the future. The future is built by the things that you do now. And you know what? You don't always get what you want. So you have to make plans on time. You know, that's what John Lennon said. But let us see, no matter how careful you plan and how hard you work, sometimes things just don't work out the way you want them to. And it's okay. It's okay. Do you know failure at times can be a success? Do you know that disappointment can be a success in disguise? It's God that is using that to point you in the right direction. When you fail, the lesson you get out of failure is that this is not right. So you need to do what is right. You need to go the other way. So when you're falling ill all the time, they tell you it's malaria parasite, then nobody needs to tell you that, hey, you need to maybe use insecticides in your house, you need to do some certain things. You know, we do not sit down grieving and say, oh, why is my own like this? Why am I like this? Maybe somebody is doing me. Maybe it's a spiritual thing. Maybe it's voodoo. Maybe it's witchcraft. The coven be at it again. See, bad things happen to good people. Disappointments and failure happen to good people. It's just a way of life. It's just what happens to all of us. It just happens to all of us. And so we don't need to beat ourselves up too much. We have all these expectations, predetermined visions of ourselves, of what is the ideal life that we want. But all too often is not the reality of life that we end up with. Let me give you an example. In my own vision, I thought by 25, I was telling my friends in secondary school, I would be a billionaire by 25. Well, it didn't work out that way. I was saying that by 25, 26, I'm married, I have kids, all my kids before 30, so that I can face my life and my business. I had a lot of things I wanted to do, a lot of things I wanted to do at 20, 25. But did it happen? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And if those things don't happen to you, doesn't mean that your life is wasted. Doesn't mean that you begin to think negative thoughts about yourself and begin to say, things are not working for me, I don't really know what is happening. No. Sometimes our dreams fail, and sometimes we just change our minds in mid-course. Yeah, I just said it. I said what you're thinking between 25 and 35 is not what you're thinking between 35 and 45. And definitely not what you're thinking between 45 and 65. You have your own expectations, your own dreams are totally different. Sometimes it's you. Why are you holding on to something now as if, oh, this is your life, this is your life? No. In the next 2 years, you might detest that thing that you're holding on to right now. You might change your mind. It's part of growing up. You change your mind mid-course and say, no, I don't think I want to do this. Give yourself chance and opportunity. Let there be give yourself some room, let life dictate some things. Life always dictates some things and gives you direction through failure. Unfortunately, through failure, disappointment, heartbreak, and all those things. Life will tell you, you didn't do it well, so you have to look for a way. And at that point in time, instead of you grieving, maybe you should look for a mentor, look for someone that's gone through it, that can mentor you and tell you one or two things that you need to know. Okay, so sometimes we have to fail to make the right course, and sometimes we have to try new things, and so that we can have new direction. So allow life, look at life Be a player. It's like a game of chess. You are playing with mother nature. You are playing with life. Life will throw you its own game, and you also play your own game. And after a while, you realize that you are getting the hang of this thing that is called life. And those are the people that come out on top, that see issues and challenges as hurdles on the way, and they find way to scale those hurdles. And as you scale those hurdles, you scale in life. Okay, the sixth point I want to bring out to you is that it's not all about you. This life is not all about you. You are not the epicenter of the universe. It's not about you. You know, sometimes I'm not saying you shouldn't think about yourself, but you just need to realize that it's not about you. Selfish people are not. They are not fun to be around. You know, they think about themselves all the time. I have a friend. Every time I want to go and see him is when I don't go and see him when I have things to do. I don't go and see him when I'm busy. I see him only when I want to laugh. I see him when I just want to relax and I need a company, because when you go to him, he's telling you about all his achievements. Yes, he told you the last time you came. He's telling you, showing you things. It's all about him, talking about himself, talking about how God has blessed him, how God is doing it. He will not even allow you to say a word. He just wants to tell you, you know, and it's difficult to stay with that kind of person. Realize it's not all about you. It's very difficult to view the world from a perspective that is outside of your own, since we already always focus about what is happening inside our lives. But what do you have to do? But you need to realize that you also need to pay attention to what is happening around you, to what is happening in the life of your spouse. Your spouse cannot be moody for days you don't say anything, because you ask them the first time what's happening and they say nothing, and I say, she said nothing, or he said nothing, and you move on. Your kids can be moody, out of sort, and you don't want to find out what is really happening in their life. The same thing with your staff or your colleagues. Sometimes you need to pause and try to find out what is really happening in the life of people, and that's where empathy comes in. And empathy is what helps you to become a better person. It's what helps you to be in the life of people, you know, and also for people to be in your life. Nobody cares for who don't care for them. So when people know that you care for them, they will follow you. Do you know that most of the time followers follow people that they sense that care for them, that if they are in trouble, those people will come for them, and they will care for you back. Realize it's not about you. Think about yourself. Have your goals and aspirations, but please make sure that in achieving what you are achieving, the family is not suffering, your spouse is not suffering, people are not complaining, that you're not a slave driver to your staff and to people around you. You need to also consider, I want to achieve this, but I don't want to be the only one standing at the end of the line and jubilating, and every other person have dropped by the wayside, and you're wondering what happened. It's just like you become successful, but you have no family. Your spouse and your kids have gone, but you made it, but now you are all by yourself and you're alone. That doesn't have to be your life. That doesn't have to be your life. So stop and make sure that no matter what you do, have those projections, make those projections, work hard towards achieving it, but make sure that you take time to look around, people that are around you, and to see what is happening in their life. See as much as possible, you know, because life is about relationships. The more successful relationships we have, the more successful we are in life. So you need to be conscious about building long-lasting, valuable relationships. And for you to build relationships, you have to pause to know what is happening in other people's lives. Because if you don't, you're not building relationship. And when you meet those people, they are like strangers to you because you don't have that relationship. Okay, another point I want to bring out here is there is no shame in not knowing. Let me talk to CEOs and men. There's no shame in not knowing. Sometimes men, you see, I always watch movies where a man and his wife is traveling, and the wife is asking him, are we lost? And he say, no, we're not lost. But your guy, you are lost. Instead of you to admit, because feel I'm a man, I should know. You're a man, and sometimes that ego comes. There's nothing wrong in saying, I don't know. No one has it all figured out. Nobody has all the answers. There is no shame in saying, I don't know. Pretending to be perfect doesn't make you perfect. Pretending to be perfect doesn't make you perfect. In fact, it makes you become a manufacturer of perfection. It makes you become a pretender. You are always on the edge, trying to be what you're not. There's nothing wrong in saying, I don't know. People have this idea that there's some form of a stigma or shame in admitting limitations and uncertainty, but that's not true. What you don't know, but what you know, make sure that thing that you know, you really know it, so that you can stick to your area of strength. I always talk about SWOT analysis. Do your strength and your weakness. Your weakness, in your area of your weakness, you can say, I don't know, but your area of strength, kill it there. Your area of strength, let people know that this is your area of strength. We all make mistakes and mess up occasionally. We learn as we go, and that's life. We can't change it. Besides, let me tell you, nobody wants to hang around with somebody that knows it all. Just think back. Are you not irritated by colleagues, friends, relations that always know it all? You talk about mathematics, they know it. Geography, they know it. Politics, they know it. Everything, they know it. And they will tell you, hold on, I'm trying to tell you something. I know this thing, I know. From where? You are not authority in it. Nobody likes to hang around, because after a while they become irritating. So a little vulnerability makes you human. They makes you human. And when people see you as being human, it means that they can relate with you. I always tell my friend many years ago, I said, look, if you want to survive in the Western world, you have to learn how to cry. Because when you cry, I remember Hillary Clinton's when she had her election or campaign, and people were like, she's too rigid, and she doesn't even cry. And they say she doesn't even cry because they want to relate. Everybody wants to relate with a human being. Nobody wants someone that is stuck up, that feels as if they know it all. So when you say you don't know, and people will say you are human, they will come to your aid. If you see somebody crying, male or female, there's something in us as human beings. We want to go and hug them and just try to confront them, whether they are at fault or not, because it's just a human nature. So being vulnerable at times it's what can help you. It helps you to get along in life. So there's no shame in not knowing. Okay, now the point I want to bring in love. The next point I want to bring is, I've said it. I have a presentation on this. Is in my store. Love is not enough. And the point I want to bring out here is, love is more than a feeling. It's a choice. Love is more than a feeling. It's a choice. That burst of initial exhilaration, that pulse quickening love and passion, it doesn't last for long. It doesn't last for long. I always say love takes you, love will take you to the door, the marriage door, and leaves you there. Studying one day, the Holy Spirit dropped it in my spirit and said, look, that thing you call love is the reason why male will be attracted to female. If not, when male humans now come together, they will leave. But there has to be something that will make them want to start life together. Then when they decide to start life together, they move into another level of compatibility and the things that can help you sustain that marriage. Love doesn't sustain that marriage. It is the choices you make every day. Love is a choice, not a feeling. That feeling goes away a few months down the line after your honeymoon. That feeling goes away. But now is a choice. The choice you make to be loyal, the choice you make to remain single, the choice you make each day to show that person that you care. That is what will sustain that marriage. It's not that feeling, that butterfly in your tummy. That butterfly finds its way after a while. Then you have to face that reality. Love is just not a feeling, really, guys. It is a choice. We have to choose to let annoyances pass, to forgive. If you want to be married, be in a relationship, you have to have that forgiveness. You have to have a bag of forgiveness and be showing that forgiveness ahead of time. If not, you'll not be able to stay. You have to be kind. Even when you have to be kind, you have to respect, you have to support and be faithful. Infidelity is one of the biggest issues that we are having these days. But you have to be faithful. Faithfulness, commitment, dedication to that person, even when you don't feel like it. I would say love is forgiving someone when you don't feel like it. Love is being kind to someone when you don't feel like it. Love is being respecting someone even when you don't feel like it. Supporting someone even when you don't feel like it at that point in time. Because sometimes there are low moments in our life. We just don't want to have any. We don't want to be burdened with this thing called love, our relationship. We have things bugging us, but we have to choose. In spite of what you're going through, I still need to love, I still need to respect this person, I still need to support this person, even when you don't feel like it. Because there are times you don't feel like it. Those moments, you should not capitalize on those moments and say, okay, when people move based on those moments and you don't know it's a choice, it usually ends up in a very bad way. Okay, so know that you just have to wake up every morning and you have to make those decisions that will keep you in the marriage. If not, most of the time you see that that marriage, that relationship is great. Relationship takes work. If anybody tells you it's about lovey-dovey all the way, that person lied to you. It is hard work. Sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's incredibly hard. But you have to make that choice every day to continue to support, to love, and to be faithful and forgive when you're wronged, and also to, in spite of the annoyances, the irritation, you still choose to love and move on. Because it's not every time that is gloomy. There are beautiful times in marriage. There are wonderful times that you're happy you have a companion. But there are also times that you are not in that space. But you have to make a decision at those low moments. Don't make any decision, or don't begin to think that this thing is not going to work because you are in this low moment. Don't make a decision when you have not reached your destination yet. And people take a decision and say, look, this love is not sparking. It's, like we say here, it's not bringing fire. It's because it's a low moment. It's not because it's going to be like that. There are seasons. There are some low seasons, especially if you're married for 10, 15, 20 years. There are seasons where it looks as if, oh, this thing is not working, or there's no love in it. It's just a season. After a while, that season will pass and you enter another season of appreciating each other. Wine gets better with age, and love, or companionship and love, gets better also with age. But you must pass through that valley for you to get to the mountaintop. So I want you to know, if you are in a valley in your relationship, know that it's just a season. Just keep making the right decisions. Keep choosing to be with that person, and you're going to come out of it. So choose how you want to act, how you want to think, and how you want to speak. I'll say these three words: how you want to think in the relationship, how you want to act, and how you want to speak. Those things are very important in a relationship. So it is more than a feeling. Don't trust in feeling. You know, I say to people, I say, look, you can see me from a distance and you say that I'm a snob, but I'm not a snob. You don't even know anything about me. That is a feeling that can be true, it can be false. You know, sometimes when you meet people, you say, oh, I had a wrong notion about you before. And so you cannot base your life on a feeling. The same thing, you can't base a long-term relationship on a feeling, which is that thing you feel and you call love. Love means this thing. Love is hard work. Love is to keep on making the right choices even when things are not going well. That is love. That is the true definition of love, and it will pass. You have been in the mountaintop honeymoon era. It comes down to the valley. It goes up again. It comes down, and the choices we make in our low moments determine the joy we are going to face up there. So this is some of the lessons that we need to imbibe. Okay, this is my last point. Like I said, 4 weeks. This is 4 weeks I'm dealing with life issues. This is the first week, and for the whole of June we're talking about this life issues that I wish I knew when I was younger. But it's all good. Anytime you listen to it, apply it, and I believe that it will help you. My last point for the day is perspective is a beautiful thing. It can also be a harmful thing. When we are worried or upset, it's because we've lost perspective. So that perspective, your own perception, it must be crystal clear. If not, you will be swinging from one side to the other. Everything that is happening in our lives seems so big, so important, so important. But in the grand picture, this single hiccup often means nothing. Somebody upsets you. We are fighting for position in the office. I will get it. We are fighting. I want to be GM. I want to be this. I'm better than you. You see, most of those things you are fighting right now, in the next 20, 30, 40 years, they don't mean anything again. They don't mean the fight we're having, the job we didn't get, the real or imagined slight, somebody slighted you, somebody did something to you, unexpected need to shift the cost, the things we wanted that we didn't get, all those things that worry you, in the next 10, 20 years, they will not be an issue. Have you not looked back and wondered, why was I killing myself? That thing was not even important. It's your perspective at that particular time. Let your perspective be close to your core values, your purpose in life. It will guide you. Because sometimes the way we run after this money to make this money, we become slaves to this money, because money is supposed to be a tool for you, working for you. Money is not supposed to be your master. And sometimes we have this perception that we want to be better than somebody else. We want to be better than our cousins. We want to be better than our neighbors. We want our children to be better. All those are perceptions that are really not necessary. A few years down the line, you will be laughing at yourself or pinching yourself and say, what was I thinking? These things are not important. Except things are life-threatening, then let it go and move on. Some of the things that you feel, why did they talk to me like that? They don't value me, they don't do all those things. In the next few days, in few years, those things don't mean anything. A lot of men, their hearts were broken, and they were devastated. A few years down the line, when they look at now the person they married and the person they were dying over, they will be wondering, what was I even thinking? What was I thinking? And you actually mean that I was killing myself? I was stressing over that when God has this in store for me? Perspective change. Your perspective must be in check. If it's not life-threatening and it's not has to do with your core values and principles, then let it go. Because the perception you hold is your reality. And the way people perceive you is their reality about you. So you must be mindful of that you as a person, you are a brand. You as a person, you are a brand. You must be mindful of that and make sure that people get this, the perception they have about you is close to being the same kind of perception you want them to have about you. Perception is reality, especially in the corporate world, in the marketplace. Perception is reality. And nobody might give you the second chance for you to prove yourself. So it's important that you have your perspective should be something that is in line with your core values, and you don't need to compromise, and make sure that anything that will make you to derail from it, let it go. You should learn to let some things go. And competition leads to nowhere. We exert so much energy on competing with each other, chasing money. I want to live on this side of the city. I want to live on the best side, to the extent that it becomes detrimental to us. I'm not saying don't try for success, but I'm saying that some of those things you're holding dear to now won't mean anything in the next 10 years. Think through what you want to do. Seek advice all the time. Seek advice from people older than you that have passed through what you have, and they will always point you into the right direction. Guys, I've come to the end of my presentation today. But before I go, I want to leave you with some important information. The first one is, this is a series, my life lesson. I call it Life Lessons series. This is the first of 4 to come. And so please just watch out. In the whole of this June, we're talking about life lessons. You will learn a lot. Even me, I learned a lot putting this together, and it will be very interesting to you. Please make it a day. Monday, every Monday, 5 p.m. West African time, I am here to talk about these life lessons. And now I want to specially invite you on Wednesday. I want to specially invite you on Wednesday, 5 p.m. also, West African time, for my counseling session. It's called Counseling Corner with Uche Onochie, by 5 p.m. every Wednesday, where people ask me questions. The questions are usually on our 5 core areas: business, career, leadership, personal finance, and relationships, as it borders on corporate or personal, and also life issues, since I'm also a life coach. And so now those are our 5 areas. You can ask me questions. How do you ask me questions? Just put it out in my DM. If you put it out in my DM, my people will bring it out, and I will answer those questions. I will answer those questions for you. So please make it just note it. On Wednesday, 5 p.m. I'm going to be here to answer your question. All right, and now I have something interesting to tell you. Wednesday is my, before I get to what is interesting, Wednesday is my mentoring, my counseling session. But some people want me to mentor them and coach them further. And they say, look, I need more than this 1 hour, ask one question. And they want for me to coach them for a period of time. If you want that, it's not a problem. Reach out and we can discuss and see how I can coach you to become that thing that you want. I've coached many to greatness, and you will not be, yours will not be different. Okay, now this is a special invitation I want to give you. In September, Make in Nigeria is live. Make in Nigeria is physical. We are back to our conference and exhibition this year. We took a break for 2 years, but not break that we didn't have this event. We took a break and we did it virtual 2020 and 2021, because we all know for COVID reasons we didn't gather, because it's a large gathering. Up to, like, in a week it's 6 days, and within that 6 days we usually have close to 15,000 people pass through that event. It's the largest business, entrepreneurship, leadership conference in the south and southeast of Nigeria. You don't want to miss it. It will be both live, and for those of you that can't make it to the city, which although I especially invite you, I want you to tune in live. On every day it will be streamed live, and so I want you guys to make a date. It's from the 22nd to the 27th of September in the city of Port Harcourt. Follow us on our on social media, on Uchonoche, on Marketplace Apostle, on Make in Nigeria handles. You will see all the information. So 22nd to 27th, a lot will be happening. It's an exhibition, it's a conference. The who is going to come and speak at that event, both from outside the country, within the country, and we are also going to have exhibitors from all over the country to come and showcase their wares. This is a special invitation. There are a lot of things. There are raffle draw, you win things, you can win a generator, you can win we're trying to even throw in some things. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. We have wonderful things we might be putting in raffle draw this year that is not just items, but can now be assets. Some of those assets, as time goes on, I will share some of those assets, fridge things, a lot of things you can get. We also have we also give out grants to those that are successful in their pitch. We help startups. That want to start their business. We give them a soft loan, not loan, a grant, and help them, and we train them through our business school to help them. We do a lot. It's a lot of networking going on, and I want to especially invite you for it. Please put it, mark it in your calendar. 22nd to 27th of September is very close. Just three months and 3 weeks, and we are there and hosting this, and by God's grace I want to see all of you. So thank you, those of you on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Thank you guys for always coming. See you on Wednesday. God bless.